We live. What's today? June 7th. Team No Sleep. Oh my goodness. Montel Allen is on the East Coast. Is that what I'm gonna call it right now? Is that where you at, brother?
No, I'm in the Midwest. Midwest,
Midwest.
or I should say North Mid. I don't know.
He don't
I'm
know
in
where he
Minnesota.
is. Just
So
wherever the
yeah,
plane lands, that's where you are today, taking care of
so I'm
some
right.
business. Okay, appreciate that. Are you doing all right besides that?
Man,
Besides the
always
jet
blessed,
lag, right?
man.
Besides the jet lag.
Yeah, yeah, just blessed, man. Blessed to be, see another day.
Yeah.
Uh, enjoy another part of the country. Enjoy family and friends, and also enjoy a little bit of work. You know how we do, man. But
Yeah.
just getting it in.
Look, you gotta do what you gotta do to keep the Lordy, hold on, let me get this right. Keep the bills paid and to pay for them college students, right? You got to
That's
do
right,
that.
sure.
Listen, we're not gonna mess around. I know we got folks that are watching. Shouts out to everyone. Listen, I know we got the Twitter audience. Appreciate you too, but you can't engage and interact unless you come over to YouTube or Facebook, preferably YouTube. That's where we get it in, right? That's where we get it in, and we can put your comments on the screen. We always start with the social impact story. Every story we got this week is a social impact story.
Yes.
5 out of 6 stories are not good. I'm just gonna put it to you that way, right? There's no sugarcoating. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Man, let's go ahead and get into this so we can start dissecting what's going on in the world, man. So, Idaho State, Devonta Neil, assistant football coach out there, charged with first-degree murder, right?
Yeah.
So Idaho State assistant football coach out there. Unfortunately, this is ridiculous news right here, and to see something like this happening. I believe he was actually out of state, and they tracked him down. They tracked him down in Arizona. But for something like this to happen again, let's talk about this, right? Someone who's so close to the youth, someone who's a quote unquote role model, someone who's impacting the future minds and athletes and things like that, and to be caught up in something like this, and this is look, let's hear the charge. This isn't manslaughter. This isn't assault. This isn't battery. This is first degree murder right here, man. So tell us what you know about this story right here, and I'll pull it up on the screen too.
I mean, I know as much as you know as far as I read the story. I think he played at the University of Arizona.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that was active. I think he was maybe a GA or something there. He got this situation happened. And then in some mix of, I guess, the investigation or whatever, he had got hired by University of Idaho, or it was Idaho State. I'm sorry, one of the schools
Right.
up there in North, and he was a position coach there, obviously doing the recruiting and everything. And then in the midst of the investigation, they found this young man, guilty. I think of committing a drive-by and actually murdering someone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
And listen,
I think
there is no statutes of limitations because this happened
yes,
back in 2017, right?
yes,
So,
yes,
man, you don't go out there doing this kind of dirt, this kind of evil, and expect and
I
think that
think
you're gonna get away with it because they
yeah,
got this brother here 5 years later.
yeah. I think I'm sure. I'm not sure if he's guilty or not, but or what the situation, but whatever his involvement was, I'm pretty sure he thought he was in the clear. Idaho State said they did the background check and he cleared, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why it wasn't found on there. So there was no charges at the point where they hired him. So no fault at the University at Idaho State. But the fact of the matter, like you said, this is a person that was in a position that was going to change lives. Being a football coach, that means he was going to be able to give scholarships. That means he was going to be out there and go be recruiting kids to be
Yeah.
into the school and get an education and those things. And unfortunately, I don't know what the situation was, but this happened, and this is unfortunate because another impactful young African American man out there, and then we got this. So it sets us back. It sets us back in these prominent positions that we're trying to get because now, this situation slipped through the cracks. And, we can't blame it on anybody else but us or for him
And that's
to
true.
set that kind of tone, unfortunately.
Right. And
It's
this
not
is
important.
Idaho, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's tough enough to get a job in California, in Chicago, Illinois.
Well,
Trying to
I can
break.
speak to a period. It's tough enough to get a job in that circle, period.
Yes, sir. Yep.
College coaching is probably one of the most competitive jobs to get in the country because they're so limited, especially when you go to the Division One, which he's at. He's at an FCC Division One school.
Yeah.
Those jobs, and those are networking jobs. Those
Yeah.
aren't jobs like, hey, they posted to somebody, they get 50 applicants and they apply. It's all about word of mouth, who you know, who can bring you on, what they see in you. Were you a former player? Were you part? So it's a really close knit network type
Yeah.
of opportunity. Now you got to think. Not only did this young man's life is now ruining things going away, the person that recommended him, that brought him over to Idaho State, or that referred him over to Idaho State, he has a tarnish on his record now. We can all talk about. I didn't know the situation. It doesn't matter. This is a black eye on. You got to think this is a black eye on that program.
Yes. Yeah.
You hired somebody who's getting convicted of murder. And now you want me to entrust you with my son to come there and play for 4 years? My impressionable son, who's 18 years old, 19 years old.
Think about those recruiting calls and those recruiting visits by the other head coaches, right? You won't. Someone wants your son to come to that school, and then the parents are going to do their research. They're going to Google the school.
This is what's going to pop up first. Yeah.
This is the man who was managing the running backs or the wide receivers or whatever the case may be, and this is the kind of environment system that you're building out there. Yeah, this is not a good look.
This is, and I mean, I don't think the common. I follow college football big time, so I know kind of the ins and out a little bit. I don't think people understand how damaging this could be to a program. You got to imagine. Take this for example. I don't know who person's favorite professional team, but can you imagine any professional team saying, "Hey, we hired an assistant coach, and that assistant coach was hired for murder. He's being charged with murder."
Yeah.
You would be appalled. You'd be like, "Wow, I can't believe." You would be really appalled about, like, I can't believe. I'm using this example. I'm not saying they ever did it. You using the Sacramento Kings. They have their assistant coach was a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
He murdered somebody 5 years ago. That will leave a tainted, taste in someone's mouth, and then you take it to the next level lower. Like I said, you take it to somewhere like in college where there's a lot of impressionable young men, and he's leading those young men, and that program hiring him, you would look bad up on that program. So, I mean, more so for him, I feel, I don't feel empathy if he did it. I don't feel sad if he did it. If he did it, you got to pay the price for what you did, and I feel sorry for the people that were involved that were affected by it. But on the flip side, for the program side, I feel bad for Idaho State. They're not a powerhouse. They're not a team that could just recover from something like this. You just can't pick up and say, "Hey, this ain't like Alabama. Oh, we got so many championships. This is just a bad mistake and wash it under the rug and kind of continue pro stuff." This program can't do that. They're not in that kind of position. So I hope they're able to recover. I hope they're able to put something out there to be able to help themselves kind of get back on the right track. But I mean, man, this is a lot of damage control someone has to do. And like you said, we ain't talking about, you took some money, you stole something. Mm-hmm. This is first-degree murder. That means he's facing life. And people, I don't know. This is for, first-degree murder means this is a premeditated murder. This is something he thought about and executed out if he's convicted of.
We will see, but I think he's got to be extradited back. So the police say Neil has been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder, a Class 1 felony, 1 count of drive-by shooting, a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of discharging a firearm at a structure, a Class 2 felony. So in California, if that was here, y'all remember 3 strikes and you're out.
He's in Arizona.
Yeah, but he's in Arizona, which is even probably stricter, even more stringent, especially again gun violence things. Everywhere is, but this is not a good look right here. So the alleged incident occurred in November 11th, 2017. But we will see what this all pans out to, man. I don't like any of it. It's like you say, it's not a good look. And in this world of NIL, right? Just to bring that back to it again, like you're saying, this school is not a powerhouse, so this could be that dampening that on the eye that really hurts with future recruitments and things of that nature, right? It's probably not going to be I don't even want to use the term the death penalty, right? Remember that there were some schools that got that, but it's definitely going to set them back quite a significant bit.
I mean, you got to also think, James, it's going to set them back also in other sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This doesn't just affect, matter of fact, it's going to affect enrollment overall. I mean, you got to think, if someone's looking up Idaho State, this article right now is a hot article is going to pop up. So it's damaging to the overall enrollment. It's damaging definitely to the athletic program. It's damaging to all the other sports, and it's definitely damaging to the football program.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think now. This school basically it's going to have to get a facelift really, really quick, and unfortunately try to come up with some scenario. This is something I don't think they're going to be able to sweep. They can't sweep it under the rug because of social media now, right?
Yeah.
You can't. It's on the internet everywhere. If you type up Idaho State,
and
one of the stories that's gonna pop up.
And the severity of the crime, right? This is just not something that's going to disappear. Again, this isn't a bar fight. This isn't a carjacking or something. This you took someone's life and then you were reckless with a firearm. So yeah, this is going to be in the news for a minute. So.
Yep, all the way through till they get through trial and they get through conviction, and it's still going to be there after conviction.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's unfortunate. They're going to be tainted in that situation, but they are. And I mean, this young man. I mean, I'm sure he thought he was getting away with something. Hey, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm in the coaching career. That's 5 years behind me. I'm sure I'm moving on with my life. And I don't know what kind of coach he was or nothing like that. But the fact of the matter, I would put myself, if that was my son being recruited by them and this story came out, I don't know what I would do. My other son probably had options. I might consider to go somewhere.
Right. I mean, so that's truth, right? So I'm in that boat right now, right? My kids are, my son just graduated high school and, getting accepted to other schools. If Idaho State was in that list right now and he had a couple of others that he got accepted to as well, we throw this one in the trash. We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just for this situation, wouldn't want them to be anywhere around these. It's not right, I think, to blame the entire school and pigeonhole the entire school. But again, this is just a bad look right now, and I would just not want. I think parents would not want their family members around these kinds of situations. So I don't know.
This is unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, it's true. I mean, you're just speaking your truth. I mean, you're guilty by association, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right. He's associated with a school. You're guilty by association. I know where Idaho State is. I've been there before. Great community. School's very, very nice. It has a lot of great things going on. But I know in this day and age of social media, in this day and age, especially in recruiting, that is probably the most damaging news they could possibly get.
Got you.
So with that being said, I can only imagine how it's going to trickle down to admissions and so on and so on. If my kid was currently going to that school and he was on the coaching staff, I'd probably we need to transfer you out of there.
Yeah, it's time to look for other locations.
I have no more confidence. I would have probably a lack of confidence in their program saying, wait, well, you guys hired someone that just committed murder 5 years ago. Someone on your staff. We ostracize and critique coaches that did far less than murder.
Talk about that.
We talked about the coach that was the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he was just flirting with a woman in the bar.
Yeah.
And how bad did we get on him? About that situation.
Don't know where Urban is right now. Yeah, nobody knows where Urban is right now, right? And again, that was just look. That was his blue pill. Yeah.
But I'm saying we got on him about flirting with another woman in the bar, and we thought that was completely damaging and out of control. Can you imagine our program trying to recover from a coach that was convicted, that's been accused of murder?
Yeah, it's horrible. I like what Kevin is saying here. Right? Think about this. Think about Baylor and Power 5 school and how long it took them to bounce back some of the situations that happened out there as well. A little bit different circumstances, like you said as well. But again, just the whole PR machine that has to be in place now. The whole covering up or not covering up, the whole just making up and trying to make amends to the folks that are affected. Trying to bring back recruitment, trying to bring back attendance and admissions and things like that. And there are just so many dominoes that have now fallen down.
We haven't even talked about the boosters, right?
The money. Listen, that's day money. One. That's number one right there, right?
Yeah, the money. How are you going to explain that to boosters with this situation that happened? You can. And the funny part about it, it's an honest mistake, right? You hired a person. You did all your protocol. You did all your protocol.
You did all the background checks. You're right. Yeah.
Everything you're supposed to do, and the situation still happened. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I don't care what they can think a booster is saying, oh, it's okay. We understand it was just a mistake. No, it doesn't work that way when it comes to cutting my $100,000 checks.
Yeah, boosters don't want to hear that. You're right.
Boosters don't want to hear that.
They finance so much of the things we see and we don't see at these institutions. So they want to make sure they're getting their value and do not want to be associated with someone possibly being put away for first degree murder. So
we got to keep it also 100, man. Look at, like I said, that's in Portobello, Idaho.
Yeah,
predominantly white community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of farming community. Black man hired.
Yeah,
murder. We could talk about there's no race involvement in right or race doesn't mean anything, but unfortunately we all can see. They see that you hired a black man on your staff, convicted of murder, programs are already not doing so hot. What does that say about you as a coaching staff? What does that say about the athletic department? What does that say about you as a university? I'm just, you got it. People may not want to say it like I'm saying it, but those dots all connect.
Yeah. No, and that's all in behind the mind, right? For a lot of folks are going to be saying that. Not as many people probably, you're right, are going to say it out loud. It's going to be more subjective instead of objective. But you're right. I mean, you stand out a little bit, brother, out there in Idaho, and for something like this to be the thing that pops up when we Google you, not a good look at all, man. So
not a good look at all. Yeah.
Prayers and all, and condolences to the families that were involved on the negative side, even to this gentleman, right? I mean, just hope it's a fair trial. Hopefully, they find out who did it. Do it the right way, do their due diligence. But it's unfortunate that this man is now incarcerated, charged with first-degree murder and the other felony charges as well. So, not a good look. Not a good look. Folks, keep on coming in with the comments. We see you. Listen, if you got a question, drop it in. We got the star moderators in the building. So shouts out to Mr. Cox. Hey, Sammy, I see we might have to give you the wrench too, man, because Sammy Superstar is in the building. So we may have to add you to the moderator list too. Man, okay, here we go. I don't know if we're going uphill or downhill, but this is definitely again not a good look. And this is in your neck of the woods. This is in your backyard, San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego State. Unfortunately, I mean, this story broke. I think a couple of weeks ago or 2 weeks ago from LA Times. Yeah, and that's what really drew my attention. It was in the LA Times. I don't know, man. This could get really, really ugly. By reading what's going on. Obviously in the story, it says that there were 5 players that raped a young lady at a party. And I think it was last year, I believe. I'm not sure the time frame. It was
last fall, correct. Yeah. So 5 members of the San Diego State football team were reported last fall to campus officials for an alleged rape that took place at a off-campus house party. So
at a party. So I think there's man, this is a big caveat. So I'm gonna kind of break it down a little in different ways.
Come on.
First, the 5 players.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't identify who they are, rightfully so, as of right now, because they haven't been convicted of anything. But the 5 players that are accused of this, they all got to be on the hot seat right now. And obviously, if this did happen during last year, and it was reported, it should have been an investigation done not only by local police, campus police, but also the football team. So those 5 players could either be suspended, kicked off, graduated and be charged later, or whatever their case scenario is, because we don't know who they are. That's the one part of it, and those criminal activities that would follow on that thing, or criminal charges would be on that part.
Yeah.
The second part now, which is a huge part, is if the coaching staff knew about it and did not suspend them or take any action on that, NCAA gets involved. Now we're talking about firing of staff, and we got to remember San Diego State right now is a money making machine right now as far as being in the Mountain West Conference. They are just right now, I believe, in talks to join in the Pac-12, the Pac-12.
Wow, that's huge.
And becoming the Pac-14 or Pac-16, 14 to join in the Pac-12 to become a super conference, and that's even more money about to come on the table. They're getting ready to go ranked in the top 25 this year, preseason 25. That means more money, and they're coming off already 3 consecutive bowls, mid-major bowls. So if you're in the top 25, you might get a really big mid-major bowl where they pay, where you're considered in the top 16 if they play really well this game. This is a bad story to come out right about now. Bad story, period. Not just right
right.
now. Prayers to the young lady. I don't know the whole details, but prayers to the victim. Whatever happened, there was a situation that did happen. Now, at a house party, whatever, we don't know because that needs all to come out. But I think this is some rumblings that's got to be going on in the athletic office, the dean's office, as well as the football office, of trying to sort out what the hell happened and who dropped the ball. Because if these 5 men did it, they should have been immediately kicked off the team and charged.
Right.
Right
So,
then and there.
along those lines, the fact that, folks, and you can see this story right here as well, 99% of the football players are aware of the 5-person rape. So the rest of the student athletes left wondering why nothing is being done. Everyone on the squad knew about this. So you're right. Why has this taken any time to come out, right? When so many people within the squad, within the team, within the locker room knew about this. There's got to be some real man to step up and say something.
You say that the team knew, okay? Yeah. Team, that's one thing. The students knew. If a coach knew, why didn't the coach do something about it?
No, you're right. So, and we need to find that out. Did you see anything that says actually a coach knew about this? Okay.
I know there.
Yeah.
I talked to some people that I know that are kind of within the intricacies.
Yeah.
One person said, "Oh, that was nothing to happen. If something would happen, the local police would have did something. This is all blown out of proportion." Okay, that's your story. I said, but it was done in the LA Times, so I'm sure they did their due diligence.
Right.
So I'm sure they know a little bit more, done their deep because they wouldn't publish it in the LA Times. Second people, they're really keeping it on the hush because whatever the investigation is going. So I don't really got any more details, and I don't plan on getting any details, and I'm not going to kind of probe for it because I'm not an investigative reporter or anything like that. But I know the consequences of what happens of this thing if there is some truth to it. Like I said, if there's some truth to it and the coaching staff knew, somebody's getting fired. That point blank, you're getting fired.
Yeah.
Because the way it is right now. And it's hard for me to believe no one knew about it on the coaching staff if 99% of the players knew about it. That's almost impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what that means right there, again, San Diego State's coming off one of the great seasons. They're projected to do great again. They're about to come into all this money as a program, as a school, and as a thing. They're building a brand new stadium. All this is coming down, and now you have this hit.
So you know let me ask you this, right? Because you know folks at the institute. Mm-hmm. This is what you do as well, right? You coach, train, mentor athletes, especially football athletes. In your decision, and what if you had the crystal ball, if you had the magic 8 ball and all that, what would you do again as someone who probably held the keys to this organization, this school, this program, who was going to be coming into all of this money, who was going to be now part of this Power 5 conference? Would you vote yes or no to allow San Diego State to be a part of this new influx of funding, money, and everything, and exposure because of something like this? Again, I mean, even like Kevin was saying, if 99% of the team knew, 0% that someone on the staff didn't know. So someone sitting in the front office knew about this, and that's that's a problem right there, right? We got to find out who those people are.
That's a major problem. And to answer your question, you know what? It would be hard if I'm the San Diego side. Can we go forth with something like this? I would be yes. I'm gonna be honest with you, because there's so much to gain from us, our programs and our school going into that. Now, if I'm on the Pac-12 side letting them in, I'm looking at you with one eye open and one eye closed. Like, I don't know if you're the right school we should be letting in, or even having these considerations and bringing you on board. Yeah, with something like that. Now, granted, the football team doesn't cover all athletics. You know what I'm saying? There's more than one thing in San Diego State that does good, their basketball team and all that stuff. So should they be crucified for what the football team did? I'm not the answer to that. I don't think they should be, but I'm not here or there. The athletic program should be. But if those young men did that, the players know about it. Coaches knew about it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They knew. They knew something. Yeah. Somebody knew something. And not only that, other coaches on other coaching staffs and athletic administration knew about it. Because those rumblings run really fast through through the campus. Somebody knew. Somebody's going to know. Somebody talked. Somebody did anything. To your question, so somebody knew on that side. So somebody should be fired. I'm gonna keep it 100. Somebody should be fired because of it. And I'm an advocate for San Diego State. I'm a big fan of the program and everything. But something like this is zero tolerance. You can't have five guys.
This is ridiculous, right?
This is something different. Yeah. This is something different. This ain't stealing money. This ain't you took some food from the cafeteria. No, you violated somebody, you raped somebody, and the girl had injuries. She had some injuries from this whole situation. Yeah. So with that, all that being said, on top of violating her and doing all those things, man, those five guys should have been suspended, kicked off the team immediately, and charges should have been brought on. Period.
Why does it take so long? And Tony, I was going to say, Tony is right. Just kind of like you were saying, he was agreeing with you. Somebody's going to get fired. Probably the whole staff. Anyone with any insight should be getting walked out the door. To be honest with you,
yeah.
But go ahead, man.
No. I mean, I'm just right, and I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of Hokie and their staff, man. I think their staff has done such an incredible job of recruiting and keeping people there and doing things like that. I mean, I know he's done. I mean, you have 100 players on the team, 95 of them are doing the right thing, but you have a bad bunch that did this situation. And unfortunately, I don't know the state of mind of those players, but you know when you're doing something wrong, especially to a young lady. Mm-hmm. And in that situation, I'm not gonna play. You can't play the dumb role. You can't say it didn't happen. You can't say any of these things, or the story was this, or she said it was okay. I don't want to hear all that shit. You're not supposed to do those types of things being in the position you're in. So with that being said, they most definitely should be held accountable.
Yeah.
Now my question is, who's the five players? If it was your 5-star players, are you covering up for them?
Ooh.
Was the 5 guys in red shirted? Was the 5 guys who was it? What position did they play? And did they play in games after that? Did they participate in any of the activities in the games after that? Because if that's the case and all that, at that point, absolutely 100% staff knew and they ignored it.
Yeah.
And if you ignored it, you should be fired. And I hate to say it.
Athletic director all the way down to everyone else, because at that point, right? If just imagine, okay, we're speculating, we don't know. Imagine this was your starting QB. This was your top wide out. This was your left tackle, got on the blind side. I mean, it was key players on the squad right there, right? Yeah. Imagine if they were involved, if they were one of the 5, and yet you knew about it, and you said, we got these bowl games. We still got to go out here and play. We'll deal with this later. It's even hard for me to say that out loud, to be honest.
I can't say. I don't think you can do anything to justify going past it. There's nothing to walk past.
Yeah.
If this situation happens, you need to take accountability of it. I don't care if it's my star quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's my son in that situation. You better start handling some sense, because the picture's bigger than those 5 players, and now it's going to come out.
Yes, sir.
The picture's bigger than those 5 players. So if it was just 5 redshirt guys, or 5 guys that ride the bench and never play, I could care less. Corrective action should have been taken at that point. Charges should have been filed at that point, and let them go through the due process of the school and the law enforcement. But I think what San Diego State did is, hey, since local law enforcement didn't do anything when they came onto the scene or whatnot, they didn't do anything. They didn't arrest anybody. That okay, we don't have to do anything. I don't believe that should have been true. If this woman's claiming anything, it warrants your investigation as an athletic staff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we always say, it's his story, her story, and then there's the truth, right? There's the truth.
Yeah.
If 5 guys there said they knew about it, and it has any inklings of rape, you should have been on top of it right away. Yeah. Okay, you know what? You guys are suspended until we clear this up.
Yeah.
You know what? We're not keeping you suspended until we clear this up. We need to figure out what's going on. I don't care if you start, hey, these allegations are serious. Until this is cleared up, we need to figure it on out. And if you didn't take that, I'm not excusing anyone. If you don't take that corrective action right there, regardless of you Alabama or San Diego State or Southwest Minnesota or Sac State or whoever, if as a head coach you don't take that correction action, in my opinion, you're automatically wrong.
That's it, man. That's
because but I would say that girl, whatever that girl is feeling, is 10 times more worth than you winning any football game.
There you go. All right. And we talk about those types of feelings, and we talk about those situations a lot. We talk about mental health aspects. We talk about, again, just the long term effects of something like this. And again, this is something that's devastating and should not have never happened. But if the grown folks in the room knew about this ahead of time and slid it under the rug or decided to delay any prosecution, suspension. Look, in the real world, this is you put on administrative leave, right? You just go somewhere and sit down. If you did this until it all comes out,
and I'm absolutely positive. I'm sure the people that know me at San Diego State probably gonna hate me. But you got at one point you got to call what's right is right,
yeah,
and what's wrong. And I mean, unfortunately, we could talk about the football players and what they're going through all they want, but let's talk about the victim.
Yeah, not even worried. To be honest with you, not even worried about the football players at this point. It's really
but I'm saying is their program. They're worried about our 5 football players or people that are in love with the program. Oh, our 5 football players want to come in and do these things to her, whatever like that. I'm sorry. In that situation, you better start understanding. In that situation, she's a victim, regardless of what you think, regardless of alcohol was involved, regardless of what drugs were involved, regardless of nothing was involved. She's a victim. Now you can't imagine her. Imagine her feelings. And I'm saying, put that as your daughter.
There you go. Right. And you and I, we come at it from that perspective a lot of times, which is why, these types of stories are incredibly hard. And listen, this is close to where my daughter is. Right? She's down there in Los Angeles.
I'm just saying, if all those guys, all those people that probably, and I know a lot of people in San Diego, all those people that want to hate on me about talking about the program or bringing the story up, I'm not really concerned about it. I can defend my position on it any day of the week. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, put your daughter in that situation. Your daughter was that one in that room being having sexual activity with these 5 guys. Unwarranted. Whether she might have been drunk, she might have been whatever. Put your daughter in that situation.
Yeah. What would you do if this was in your house?
Then come to me and tell me how you're going to feel with that situation. Because right now, I'm looking at it from that situation. What if that was my daughter that was there and these 5 guys did it to them? I can give a damn about a football program. How come they weren't charged with anything? Mm-hmm. This happened months ago. We brought it to the police attention. The school's known about it. 99% of the football teams know about it, and no one's did anything. That's not a great look on anybody, and that's damn shame that there's no corrective action being taken and no criminal activities being taken.
That's right in along with what Tony was saying. Right? No, and I always hate it. Why does it take so long? Right? Why all these schools, all these organizations, companies, and everything else? Why does it take so long for it to actually come out about this issue when somebody knew? Somebody knew.
Somebody knows. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if it's something that you were questioning and saying, you know what, the young men didn't do it, we got to figure this out. Then you say, you know what, guys, hey, I'm sorry. We're in the middle of the football season. I know you guys are great players. I know this is your senior year. But unfortunately, due to the nature of this crime and everything, you guys got to be suspended until we figure this all out.
That's what it is.
I can't imagine they did their due diligence as a team or as a squad, and LA Times still came out with the story. And like I said, if it was a small mom and pop's paper, I probably would have never even really paid too much to. Maybe this is just something I don't know if they did all their due diligence. But when the LA Times does a story like this,
they're gonna fact check. They're gonna do a lot of fact checking, right?
It's very credible what's going on, and very credible in what they're talking about, and very credible in what they're saying.
Yeah, here we go. Let me pull up that story here. I mean, here's the story right from the LA Times.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So my thing is when LA Times decides all the way in LA, and we're down in San Diego 2 hours away, and they're doing their due diligence and they're checking on this. I don't care if it's a one-sided story from the female standpoint. Somebody in San Diego State should have made a comment, or somebody should have said something and did their due diligence, because obviously this is something that's wrong. Yeah. And I don't agree who
months of silence. Listen, that bridge right there. I know that bridge. I've got my daughter's best friend goes to SDSU, so I've been to that school, and I know the location as well. I've taken that picture. Goodness gracious, I was there last. So yeah, you're right, man. For it to be, and this headline followed by months of silence. Again, like Tony's saying, why did it take so long?
Yes. So my question is, Who knew? If they did know, when is the athletic department going to take their action to go ahead and start firing?
Yeah.
And I don't want, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to see any of those guys get fired. Like I said, I know the staff. I know a lot of those guys on the staff. Those guys on the staff are really good football coaches, and on the personal, they are really good people. I mean, they're really good. They're really good guys. Coach Hokie and the staff are really good guys. But really good guys do bad things too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They make mistakes as well. And I think maybe they made a mistake, but said, "Hey, maybe we don't say nothing. We're good. We're cool. We're not going. Police didn't do anything about it. We're not going to do anything about it." I can understand them having that attitude because you're defending your players and your boys. But like I say, you got to take a step back and look at the victim situation and look at the damage this is going to happen, and look at if this is a rape culture and this thing really did happen. You got to look on the bad side. Hey, this really happened. We got to figure it out. You can't say, "Hey, I got to take 5 guys' work for it." She said, "Yeah, okay, run a train on me."
Yeah.
At a party in front of everybody. Like, bro, hey, I'm sorry. That ain't, unless she comes in this office and say you guys ran a train on her and it was okay, then I'm not buying it. I got to look at the rape thing and look at it as a rape situation.
That's true.
And we got to go from there, and that way you're suspended. So I don't know what due diligence San Diego State did on it. I really don't. I don't know if they did a thorough investigation. Evidently, I don't think it's as thorough as they thought it was, because the kids didn't get suspended and there are those charges. But I'm telling you right now, if that situation, whatever it is, they better clean it up right away. Yes. And if and if the coaches knew about this situation and it was an actual rape and it was a situation like that, or it was a date rape, or it was she wasn't really willing and they did that, whatever the case is, those 5 guys should have been action done right away, immediately. And if they knew, they need to be fired, man. I hate to say it, because we can't tolerate a rape culture. You just can't do it.
Can't do it. No, cannot do it. I love this restatement of what you said too from Kev. Even if they are good people, sometimes good people make poor choices. So
yeah,
listen, we've been known here on Team No Sleep, folks. Y'all know it. We shine the light on these unfortunate stories, and somehow, some way, the press, or the major press and the major even sports networks tend to grab hold to it. We're going to take credit for a lot of those things, and hopefully someone pays attention to this Idaho State situation. Hopefully someone pays attention to this San Diego State situation, and tries to come to a conclusion in terms of what was going on. We will see when the lawsuit comes out against the university and the program. You're right, Tony. Right, we'll see, and you can't hide then, right? Once you got to sit in that room and put your hand on the Bible and you go through lie detectors, right? We'll find out exactly who, what, when, where, and how, and who was involved, and start.
But see that situation though, and I hear Tony. I think you're absolutely correct, Tony, at that point. But again, it's the wait process. Like, why? My question: why did San Diego State get the benefit from them 5 players still being able to participate in football months ago, when these allegations were hanging over their head? They shouldn't have been allowed to participate. Why do they still get to enjoy playing football, going to school every day, and doing everything? Because I'm quite sure that young lady wasn't able to do the same thing she could do every day
comfortably.
I'm pretty damn sure.
Right. Yeah,
she had probably humility and everything else, guilt and everything riddled all over her. But I don't know if she had to drop out of school or how she had to do classes. But I guarantee her day didn't continue the same way as theirs did.
You're right.
So my question is, why is it taking so long? And again, why can't you internally police as a school and as a staff? Why can't you set the tone? Even though they're great players, but hey man, I'm sorry. You as a player made a bad choice, and you have to take accountability for it. And now it's a little too late. It's a little done and too late. Now the story's in the New York Times, and now San Diego State, with all these great things coming up on their program, now you got this big stain on you. You got a big black eye right now. And I don't see any way they can clean it up, man. I really don't see where they can clean it up besides letting fire someone.
Yeah, someone's going to be made an example of. I agree with you, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Someone's going to be made an example of, and Lord forbid that it doesn't happen again, or doesn't happen too frequently, right? We unfortunately know that these types of things continue to happen, and we would love for them to not. But let the bad people that do them get their day in court and get locked up if they need whatever. Let's just make sure that we handle these situations faster and we take care of both sides, especially the victims of these. So like the victims of the and the victim's family of the shooting in Idaho,
Yep.
and this young lady and anyone that was around her that was involved. Because there could have been some other individuals that look again, and I don't want to fabricate any stories, but the lady may have had some friends with her as well who are somehow affected by this situation, and all of those folks need care, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think you need to look at the situation as an entirety. And like I said, my mind keeps set on what you just said like a few minutes ago. Where was the other players that stop that? You know what I'm saying? You said 99% people on there on the football team know about it. There's 125 players on the squad listed on the rosters, including red shirts. So that means to tell me that about 100 out of that, about 100 of those players, I'm saying if it's 99%, that means that almost all of them knew,
right?
Maybe except for one. Right, 1.5 people didn't know about it. So 115 players knew about it, right? Knew about the allegations and knew about the situation that had occurred. So I'm assuming those 5 players that did it weren't the only ones at the party.
Yep.
Where was the one to step in and tell them, y'all know what y'all hell y'all doing? What the hell y'all getting in? What
right?
Where was that?
Where I say, where's the grown man at, right? Where's the grown man on the squad to step up and say something?
Where's that senior leadership at, and where's that captain at, and where's that person that did that? And maybe it was a guy that stopped him. I don't know. We don't know the situation. Maybe somebody did come in there and stop him. But I'm saying I really find it hard to believe this woman invited these 5 players in a party, in the middle of a party, to do these kind of acts and do whatever they did consensually, and all of a sudden changed their mind and called rape when the police and them came at that sudden. And even if she did do it consensually, you as a player should have had more sense and more than enough sense not to do it. In this day and age, you should have more than enough sense to me not to be doing this with 5 other guys on this one woman, even if she consented to do it, because you know what could possibly happen in that situation. And I'm not going to go for the okie doke that you're that dumb. You're not that dumb.
Y'all got better home training than that. Peer pressure can make you do some things, but this you know better than this.
Yeah, you're a Division I athlete. You're not going to tell me that you don't know that is a bad look.
Yeah,
right there. That's a situation waiting to happen. And I'm talking about she said yes. I'm saying she said yes. Come on, all you guys, come on and do this thing. Come on, do whatever you want to do to me. I'm saying she said you as a player should know that you can't do that. That is a setup for something bad to happen in that situation. So your behavior isn't excusable. I don't care in no situation. It's not excusable. And if a staff member knew about it, whether it was an accusation or not, then they should have been like, you got to be suspended until this thing's happened, till this is all cleared up. I'm sorry. I don't senior, freshman, red shirt, volunteer, whoever it is, I don't care. Until this situation, this is cleared up and we know it's all good. You got to be out. You got to sit.
You got to go.
So,
you got to go.
Man. So it's rough, man. I know my boys in San Diego gonna hate me, man. But I mean,
you know what? That's all right. That's right. You can take that smoke. Don't worry about it. You can take, because you tell the truth, man. Right? We talking truth right here, and they know it too, right? I'm again, any person with a conscience, any person who just especially any father of a daughter, but any person just knows better and knows the difference between right and wrong. And again, I talked about the home training, right? You train your kids to know better and to avoid those types of situations, and hopefully be that guardian angel or that person to tell the others, you know better than this, right? Don't do this. So, well,
and man, and to be honest with you, man, it's a call out to the local police too in San Diego. And in San Diego, like who's the investigating officer in this situation and chose not to do something, or didn't do his homework right, or whatever the case of scenario be, to be able to say in this report, hey, it was a rape or it wasn't a rape. These are the situations. There's got to be a police report out there that's saying something.
Yeah.
So who was that investigating officer that either dropped the ball or didn't do enough of an investigation to figure out, was this a situation or was it not? And I'm sorry, I think the university should take a different action. You got to be charged on both, man, because you affect our campus, right? It's like Deshaun Watson. Well, we'll get in that. It ain't just a criminal case; it's a civil case as well.
Yep.
It's not a criminal case just with the local authorities. This is a case within our culture too, within our football organization as well. Where we got to be in trial just like you. And if I feel there's something wrong with it, man, I'm gonna hold you accountable a lot more stringent than the other people gonna hold you accountable for. So the fact that you 5 guys even thought about it and you did do that, yes, I'm going to punish you. You're going to be punished until this is all clear. Now, if I'm wrong in a thing, then I'll be wrong. You 5 guys can come back and sue me about eligibility and all you want.
Yeah.
But I think I did the right thing by suspending you because of these allegations. And I'm sure they will get 100% backing from anybody.
Exactly. For the community, we already talked about the boosters. We talked about everyone else, the president of the university, right? If you stood up and you felt you did the right thing by everyone that's involved, especially the victim, right? Then and it came back negative, or it came back that it was the wrong thing, but you made a decision immediately to take some action on this, right? Then that's got to be complimented and that's got to be respected.
Yeah, man, that's an executive right decision, right?
Yeah.
It's not an executive wrong.
Yeah.
Turning your head and not doing anything is an executive right decision.
Yeah.
An executive right decision is doing what you know that is right, holding those guys accountable, and making sure they uphold to it until it's done. I know these kind of situations take a long time. I know these things do, they have to do the due diligence. They got to figure everything out that's going on because they got to do the victim and go through all those things. But the fact of the matter that you was in that situation, you 5 players put yourself in that situation, then unfortunately you got to be held accountable for your actions. Right, wrong, or indifferent, until it's proven that it was that you guys are the right guys and that you did nothing wrong. Then hey, we'll figure all that out at the back end. If I have to give you another year of eligibility, I'm sorry I took away your 5 games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry all these things. But again, that warrants your actions though. I didn't tell you to go in that room with those other 4 guys and do what you did. So that warrants your actions of being suspended, unfortunately, even though it was in your favor. I'm not going to tolerate and risk my program on you 5 knuckleheads doing something like this.
Yeah.
Period.
Wow.
And that's the attitude they should have had. Whoever knew should have took that attitude and did that within the program. And that way, I think what they do, and that they always self-impose penalties on themselves when they do something wrong. You should have self-imposed your penalty on these 5 guys because you know they did something wrong, and did the corrective in the situation afterwards. If they're not guilty, but like I said, this is a black eye on them. I'm still an Aztecs fan, fellas, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
Well, we gonna do our due diligence and bring it up and have the conversation, have this awkward conversation, and hopefully there'll be some action that comes out of this to get everyone dealt with and taken care of. Even if it's guilty by association, if you know better, do better. There it is, right there. Kevin Cox dropping the mic with on it right there.
Yeah, that's a good right there.
Let me go to this, man, because again, we started. A couple other folks need to, I guess, make some noise to try to get some movement. But listen, we've been on the Brittany Griner situation since day 0. Bring her home or do something. Find some way to at least communicate with the young lady. Find out, how we can come to amends on this particular situation. But now LeBron James is coming here, the newly minted. He's a billionaire now. He's still playing, and he's already got $1 billion net worth. So okay, shouts out to you on that. Maybe that's why he feels comfortable with demanding that that Joe Biden does something to bring her home. So that's where we are right now, folks. Right, LeBron James is verbally, social media wise, saying that listen, the Biden administration, the United States of America, needs to get out there and find a way to get Brittany Griner home. We agree with it, right? And again, the bigger your soapbox, the bigger your platform, your megaphone. LeBron James, right, is that guy. I don't know if you can be demanding of 1600 Pennsylvania, but go ahead on, man. Do your thing, brother.
It's good that he did that. I also watched the interview with Steph today that was on NBA Today. Steph talked about she needs to come home, and there needs to be more action taken on. Man, you've discussed it already numerous times. I don't know why the NBA is now wearing. They wore the no violence shirts, right?
Yeah.
The other day, stop the gun violence shirts. Why aren't they having shirts on that says Brittany Griner home, or having a patch on their jersey, or having something on their sleeve that says something for her to really make amends, to bring more awareness about bringing her home in her situation? Also, if I was the NBA Players Association, I'd be like, no one's playing over in Russia at all. No volunteer games, no nothing until they bring her home. So we'll cut off that whole mechanism of our star power and our NBA, mystique that we have overseas, until this young lady is released. and gets to come home. I mean, cannabis oil, man, and you arrest her. She's been in jail. I don't know how many months now. She's going on 6 months now.
Something
Almost
like
6
that.
months.
It's way too long. Yeah,
Way.
The punishment does not fit the crime. Doesn't matter where on the planet you are. Listen, she's not like she stole something. I think where is it, in Thailand, where they cut your fingers off, cut your hand off. This is nothing to that extent. She had some oil in her bag. Yeah, I mean, okay, she agreed. Yeah, I had the oil in there, but come on, this long detention is not right.
I think that, man, and salute to LeBron James. I mean, at least he's pushing the envelope. Whether you agree with him or not, he's pushing the envelope on on these types of situations that involve all of us socially, in our community, and someone that's directly close in his community, professional basketball. So he's pushing the envelope to make sure they take some kind of corrective action and do something. And I think we're still 2 months too late. This should have been something they were doing, right when she was arrested, or just a month after she was arrested.
Right there. Look, wear the shirts all you want to, and I said this before doing the Uvalde thing, right? We done with hashtags. We done with all that, and why so little, so late? When again, this woman has been locked up for so long of a time, and she could possibly be facing up to 10 years for this.
Yep.
I need you wearing more than just t-shirts for the finals for 7 games. Right. This is not right.
But that's to bring awareness, though, right? To bring more and more awareness to push the envelope. I agree. We're tired of hashtags and all that stuff. But they got the biggest platform on the world right now, right? When they play, can you imagine talking? They saying anything about Russia free Griner, so anybody just watching that game in Russia sees free Brittany Griner on their shirt.
Yeah.
Hopefully that pushes the envelope to get them out of there. If everybody's in solidarity, making that awareness. And then now LeBron's pushing the president to make that awareness, and the biggest platform in basketball is saying the same and re-echoing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it makes him have to take some corrective action because everybody's talking about it and it's on people's minds at that particular point. And I know there's a lot of different things going on in the world, absolutely, but that's one small check that he can get off. That's a phone call he can make over there to Russia to the dude, whether they agree or disagree. Make a phone call, figure out what they need to do, and get her out of there. That's not. You ain't got to go over there. This ain't gonna cause no war.
Yeah, you don't have to exchange. You don't have to. What is it? Commiserate with terrorists or anything, right? Just get on the phone and have a conversation. Figure out what's going on. What we're seeing with the Ukraine war, we're seeing a lot of folks in Russia that are speaking up and saying, they're acknowledging things that aren't right. They're speaking out against the war. So I can almost guarantee, if I was a betting man, there's some folks in Russia that saying this ain't right. Right, this woman needs to go on home. So I can just imagine the locals are saying kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with Biden making that phone call. Let's just keep it 100. He can make that phone call and
he
say,
can make that phone call right now.
What we need to do, let her go, baby. It's time to let her go. And I'm sure he's gonna be pissed off because the conversations are probably gonna detour. Why are you giving them weapons? Why are you giving all that? Let's not get off subject. Let's let her go, and then we can have that conversation afterwards.
Tell Putin to focus on, right, man. We trying to get
focus on what we're talking about, and let that kind of hashtag out. But I'm saying, and let that kind of come to light. Mm-hmm. But I do believe it should be his duty to make that conversation because this is a professional athlete. A lot of women, a lot of young ladies looking for her to follow basketball. She's a representative of our country when she's over there playing basketball.
Yeah, that's why she was there, right? It's not like she was just there for vacation. I mean, she was there playing. She was there making her money. Yeah, you're right.
She's making her money. She represents us as an American basketball player over there. She represented us in the Olympics when we played in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
How you not gonna go over there and just be like, look, hey man, you gotta let her go.
Yeah.
You gotta figure something out. I don't care what you do, just let her go. Whatever we need to take care of, we'll take care of it. But you need to let her go.
Yeah, this isn't the situation or the story or the circumstance to make a case out of, right? This is, or make an example out of. Yeah, this is not it. Just because you think you hooked on to something. Oh, I got somebody here who has something, and we gonna play this out for a year, 2 years, maybe up to 10 years. No, this is not the one that you want to hang your hat on, brother.
This is not the one you want to hang your hat on. And I spoke it before, man. Let's keep it. Let's be
Come on now. Come on.
If Brittany Griner was Steph Curry,
Uh-oh.
Would we be having this conversation?
Ooh.
Would
There'd
it
be
take this long?
drones and
Would it
SWAT
take this long
team.
to get Steph Curry out of there on jail on holding some oil, cannabis oil? I think not. I think if it was LeBron James, he'd have been already. They would have got him out the first week. There wouldn't have been no. It would damn sure would take no more than 10 days to get him out of jail, and he would be going into jail. He'd probably be held up in a hotel, chilling. Just can't leave the country.
Can't leave the country, boy. Listen,
Until
if
they
it
figure
was,
it out. So why is she's a female? And I know her sexual preference they don't agree with over there, but that has nothing to do with the crime. Her crime was she had cannabis oil, not weed, not a joint, not a blunt, not marijuana. She had cannabis oil.
Yeah, she had a vial of some oil. I don't know how much, but I'm just saying a vial. But yeah, we don't know how much, but still.
It could be a gallon. It could be the size of a gallon of crystal oil. I can care less.
It could be
you ain't supposed to be doing those 6 months in jail for no damn oil.
Yeah, listen. God.
That's the bottom line. You're not supposed to be doing no jail in oil.
It don't even sound right.
That don't even sound right, man. And they holding that young lady hostage over there. And not to mention, not only she's hostage over there, she's being a victim over there. She's missing her family. She can't stop playing in the WNBA this year, so she's missing out on her money again in the WNBA. Being a superstar, the impactfulness she has on all these people, and I hope her story comes to light where she can tell what happened in her experience over there. And I hope for their sake they're treating her okay. But it's time for her. It's overdue for her to be released.
Yeah,
and come back.
This is a symptom, I think, and Kevin has talked about it as well. This is a symptom, I think, of the pay scale for the WNBA. How much does she actually make here as opposed to going overseas? Why do our WNBA athletes have to go overseas to make a decent wage or whatever the case? There shouldn't be a reason. If the United States is the greatest country on the planet, you should be getting paid equal. It should be very similar to what the U.S. women's soccer team has done, right? Equal pay for equal play.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking to the choir. I'm talking.
Wait, and it's a capitalistic market, right? We're talking business 101 at this point. Hey, I'm not going to pay you that much, WNBA girls and WNBA, because you're not selling out stadiums.
Yeah.
So,
give them their own stadiums, and listen, maybe that's the problem. They give them their own stadiums, and then I'm sure they'll sell them out. Well,
but I'm saying not only that though, Jay. But how many times have I told the marketing job of the WNBA has not been as great as it should be?
Yeah,
it should be. I've said all along. Why aren't they doing the same thing as a regular season of the NBA team, and they're the opening game for an NBA game?
Yeah.
So you get 2 for 1. Now they get a big broad fan base. People start to acknowledge their names. They get marketed like other players do. They get their own shoe things like other two. Because now, as a fan, I know when I get there a little early, I can go see the WNBA play, their game at 5 o'clock, and then I can watch the guys play that night. Both on professional stadiums, both in major cities, both in major arenas. So why isn't that an option or opportunity for them? Why aren't they marketing these young ladies the same way they market the men? And again, I know the fan base is not as big, but you can make the fan base even larger than what it is. If showing the WNBA right now during the same time as a regular season of the WNBA is showing the same time as the championship game or one of the games set in the championship series of the NBA, they're never going to get their just due.
Yeah,
that means no one's watching them because now they're watching the championship of the NBA. No one's watching them right now because it's College World Series baseball.
That's what I'm watching. Listen, you're right. I mean, I'm watching the college women's softball. That's what I'm watching instead of WNBA.
That's more exciting right now because it's their time. It's more exciting to watch hockey because hockey's in right now. Yeah. I think what the French Open just happened in tennis.
Yep.
You got a lot of major summer events that are going on that is taken away from people being excited about the WNBA. So I believe their marketing plan needs to be revisited and how they're going to structure and how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
If they did that, now you have more fans. Now you got to pay more money. That's the defensive that they say. I still believe they deserve more money. There's enough money in their revenue sharing amongst NBA and the NBA organizations that own WNBA teams to share that money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. We don't need to pay Chris Paul $214 million.
Come on now.
For 6 years.
Oh, there you go.
Pay him $200 million and say, hey, that's
I think he would be all right with it.
Yeah, he would be all right.
You know what? Yeah, he would be all right with taking a pay reduction. Yeah, okay.
You don't need to pay Steph Curry the maximum of $215 million. Well, you can say, look, Steph, we're gonna pay you $200 million, and that $15 million is going to trickle down to the WNBA, so we can broaden that and make that a more exciting league, so we can elevate the women and pay their salaries to be more and more. But there's ways to do it, man. I think they're in this capitalistic, niche where these 32 owners have this profit sharing thing, and they all want to maximize it, and I get it. It's just like any other company.
Yeah.
But at some point, if you want your smaller business to grow as big as your business, you got to cut something above the top business and reinvest in the smaller business to go up.
Got to do it.
So until the NBA wants to get behind them and start maybe cutting a little bit of that from either from salaries or from the owners making what money they make, and say we're going to trickle that down in the WNBA, pay them more salaries, get them at a better time frame, get them traveling where they're in situations where a mass people can see how their game is played and start to become fans of it. Then they're going to always argue the pay structure. Since they can't sell out stadiums the way it currently is, then we're not going to pay them that kind of money.
It's we talked about Chris Paul. You think LeBron would take a pay cut?
I think LeBron should go ahead and buy
reassessment or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I think to be honest with you, I think LeBron. I think they should allow those players to buy some of those teams.
Wow.
I think they should allow current NBA players.
Okay, you just said current though, and here again, Kevin's talking about Brian being the business. I don't know if current players that seems like that could be a conflict. I can see someone like AI, someone who's already done with the league.
Why would it? Okay, why is that any different than an active investor versus a person investor to retire from this business? What's the difference?
Yeah, no, that just seems like hands in the pot, too many different places. I'm a baseball guy. I think about the whole Pete Rose thing, right? Managing teams, betting, right? He's got dual interests at the same time. That's kind of really where the problem. I don't know. That would be kind of.
I don't know. I have to disagree with you. So
okay, come on, let's go. Let me get me a drink of coffee. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. If I'm LeBron and I want to buy the LA Sparks,
now, why are you still playing? Why are you still playing? Okay.
Yeah, I don't play in that league. I want to be ownership of it. I'll maybe have some control of what players I want to bring in, but I want to own it. And now, since you're a player yourself, you can see how many benefits you have in comparison to the benefits they have. You can see how things are so messed up there where you could correct them like they are just like the NBA. Because you play in the NBA, you know exactly how it is over here. Put your money in your mouth and your experiences over here.
Put your money where your mouth. God, come on over here and help these ladies out. Come on, CP3.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems fair to me, and especially when those guys all say they want to buy professional teams. Yeah. They all want to become owners someday.
Yeah.
It should be a step program. Let's purchase a WNBA team, get down with that. Let's see how you mature with that, how you manage that, and then maybe that opens up the gateway, and it's an easier segue into owning the NBA team. Right? You think about it, if you take a WNBA team that's not profitable and you turn a profit, NBA is going to be like, oh, absolutely. If we can turn that into a profit, bring him on up.
Money talks. Good for everyone. Good for everyone. Hold on. Look at this. Tony talking about go put Ice Cube in control of that. Now, and Ice Cube, what is it? The 3-on-3 league that he's got. So someone outside, not as closely involved. But I hear your argument. I just don't know if Klay Thompson and Draymond Green can be owned.
I don't think he's going to be point shaving the WNBA. I think he's going to be all right if they get some ownership in it. I just like when we talked before. I think the WNBA has been just poorly marketed. Man, I really do. Yeah. I think they could have done a different job of marketing them. Definitely branding, making their brand a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Asking WNBA player stars to wear the replica jerseys of the girls. Just so they can show. You could do a whole bunch of things marketing in those markets. That would be dope. Yeah. Kind of say, hey, let's boost it up. You can't just have NBA players sitting in the stands and say, hey, all right, everybody's going to start coming because I came to 1 or 2 games. It's got to be something that's really there that they're really showing it. Why don't they invite stars to sit in the front row like they do the NBA team, the NBA games? Why ain't there Jack Nicholson sitting in the front seat?
Yeah, okay, there you go. We all own a piece of this, right?
Yeah. I think they really have to broaden that brand to be that strong to get there. And if they do that, I think it's good because if you ever watch a WNBA game, man, you kind of appreciate what fundamental basketball is all about. It's really fundamental.
That is true.
They pass the ball a lot. They run plays. They're very talented with it. Kelsey Plum is like one of the most talented players probably on earth. Not just a woman. She's just a talented WNBA player that's that good, and no one really knows about her.
Yeah.
People don't even know who she probably.
I saw Diana Taurasi have a confrontation with a
Mm-hmm.
ref a couple of weeks ago, and it just shows how much they compete, and it made me feel good to see one of the GOATs like her, right? Just one of the greatest of all times from the women's basketball league to still be fighting and still be going at it with the officiating, just being out there. Collecting with Cool, appreciate you for being here. Manny says, I'm with James. I don't think they can have ownership stakes until they're out of their contracts. Player coaches could be interesting, though. Okay, so player coaches could be an interesting. Again, I don't know if a current player could be an assistant, to a WNBA team. I just think that's too much in the water at the same time, right? To have Giannis out there trying to focus and play his game and still own a piece of a WNBA team. There just has to be some type of break. I don't know. We'll see. But you know what?
I
don't get to sit in that conference room. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind having to take a chair at that time.
I'm just saying. I believe those guys that are supporting of the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like I believe like Damian Lillard, Jordan Poole was at the game, and why can't those guys leave this making contracts that really want to support them? Won't they be like, hey, I'll put some money. I'll put some of my $214 million up if I can get a piece of that ownership of that team and figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't see any difference between him playing the NBA and him buying a WNBA team. No different than I see Patrick Mahomes owning the Kansas City Royals or the Kansas City, the Royals.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, you come in with facts. Okay, you come in with facts. Yeah, that's a decent point. That's a decent point.
Yeah, it's just a different sport. He owns it. He's not managing. He's not doing the day-to-day process, but he owns a piece of that thing. I think LeBron James and those guys can take a piece of the chunk of change and make it and buy those teams. And now, if he owns it, imagine the market he's going to do for it. Hey, LeBron James, current owner of the LA Sparks, come out to the game. I'm gonna be there. Everybody show up. We sold out. Everybody gets Taco Bell. What?
Yeah.
He could bring such a massive marketing tool by him being owner of that to bring such a draw. And so can him doing those other local markets that those guys that are there that really want to own those teams. Like Kevin Garnett, say he wanted to buy the Minnesota Lynx or buy a portion of them. Kevin Garnett is a big draw in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
What makes you think people are going to come to the game if he's, hey, I own part of the team? I know he's retired, but I'm saying I'm part of the team.
No, I get you. Yeah.
If you got that big paycheck, let them guys buy and let them understand and learn how to become owners in those leagues.
No, the Mahomes example that you just did was something that I blanked on and didn't think about, but that's and that's working, right? That's working. And you kind of asked a question here as well, very similar, thoughts on Draymond having an active media contract and McCollum having a media contract today while they're playing. That's slightly different. I think that's slightly different. I think that's all right. Again, these players today are entertainers and they're working on their brand. So so they're out there doing that thing, and Draymond Green is doing his thing. But I think when you put real money into it, when you want to become a co-owner or an owner, active or silent, whatever the case may be, it's just a different type of a conversation. But it's working with what Mahomes is doing in Kansas City. But I don't know.
I think that works with Mahomes. We talked about it. I think it would work if the XFL allows ex-players and guys that are at that level with that money to own XFL teams.
Yeah.
Or own a portion of it. You may not be the majority owner. You could be a minority owner. But ownership in professional sports, it's an art. It's not something you can say, I got enough money, let's do it. Because the guys that do that, they're constantly losers. Look at the guy in Washington. Can't win a game, can't do that. Look at the guy that owns the New York Knicks. They just throw money out there just to have it. And they're not really learning the art of how to be an owner and how to do things. Rooney in Pittsburgh knows how to be an owner. Yeah. The Kraft family knows how to be an owner of a professional organization. Those guys know how to be owners, and I think that's something that you have to learn. It's just like, I can't have a lot of money and just do it because it's wrong. Look at Michael Jordan. That's a guy that everybody knows. Yeah. He's an owner. Charlotte is just kind of doing good right now. They're just kind of doing good right now as an organization.
Because they got old Ball out there. No one likes his daddy, but we got Ball. Yeah.
As we can see, it's just not something you can just do just because you have a lot of money. It's not a practical thing. I think something to learn. So Imagine you get those baby steps and learn about marketing, ticket sales, management, your assets at that level. And as you show how to grow and show how to maneuver and do different things that you think they will work, and they start to work, now you can be groomed to go to the next level because you've already turned a business, you've already turned something that you own into something that's successful. I think it could be a very well growth mechanism into ownership if they would allow those guys to do that. But that's just my opinion.
I love the tangent that we went on. I love we went into owners, current players owning the league or owning teams. We started with the Britney story, and then we had all the great commentary coming from that. This could be something that hopefully someone will talk about, think about.
Well, and a question though, James. So, how well do you take care of something you own, and opposed to something you don't own?
Look, I'm fanatic. I got stuff here that's old school that still works. I got old 8-track play. No, I don't.
Exactly. If you own the team, how well would you take care of it, in opposed to just being a fan?
And
point. Who has the star power in basketball? Current NBA players.
Yeah.
So if they own a piece, they will be more willing to take care of it. They'll be more willing to market it. They'll be more willing to make sure they look out for the young lady. Or so on and so on, because they own a piece of it now.
You got no arguments there, boy. You dropping gems. I should have put some sound effects in here, boy, because you dropping some gems on them. And see, here we go. Right, we said we were only going to have 3 stories to keep the show at 60, 75 minutes or so. We've gone through, I don't know, we've got through 3, and we got 2 more to go. And we can't stop because these 2 stories have to be talked about, and they got to be talked about this week. We'll talk about one of them. We'll glaze over one of them.
Okay.
We're gonna leave y'all with a little FOMO, right? You got to come back next week because this is what we do, right? Man. So this guy.
Oh man, this I forgot about this story.
Yeah. You want to forget about this because it's hard to keep counting. Last week it was at 23, 22, 23, 24. Who knows? Today, 5 days later, Deshaun Watson has 66 massage therapists in his little black book of people that and you said this before we went online, went on air. What is wrong? What's wrong with this man, his neck and his back? Right. What is wrong with the knots in his thighs or whatever? Why does he need 66 individual massage therapists to handle him and take care of him? And now again, the allegations are continuing to pile up. We see it's not 66 allegations. There are 66 individual massage therapists that have worked with or for him. The number is now at 24 women who have actually filed a lawsuit against Deshaun Watson, stating that he had inappropriate sexual contact with them. So this come on, man. This is now ridiculous. This is now unfortunate. And Cleveland Browns, you need to handle your boy. You got to figure this. You got to figure something out.
Well,
you just cut him a fat check. Talk to me, man. Come with some clarity, man, because I need some clarity.
Yeah. The clarity's gonna happen. The NFL's gonna come down on Deshaun based on all these civil suits, what the player conduct, whatever that rule they have. So he's gonna get some suspension. He's gonna be suspended. But I think also they should make sure he has mandatory to go seek help to figure out what's going on. Not physical help, mental help on what's going on. Why is this situation happening?
Come on, this is
and also, man, let's keep it real. Deshaun Watson needs to have some accountability to what's going on. Everything he's done, he's denied. He's just denied it. I didn't do it. I didn't do any of that. And one or two people, okay, maybe it was just a misunderstanding or something going on, and this. But now we're coming up with 24 women, and the fact that you saw 66 different massage therapists within the 17-month period. Well, the smoke is fire, brother. Period.
And it's burning down. It's burning.
It's burning. So I mean, he's got a, you know, you got a problem. There's an issue that's going on there. Cleveland, I'm sure, Cleveland's still wanting to deal with whatever penalty. I'm sure they knew. They looked at what the most severe case could be and what would be the lighter case.
Yeah.
I think they're going to fall somewhere in the middle with the suspension. I think he's going to get anywhere probably 5 games to maybe 8-game suspension in a 17-game season. So they're willing to live with that and deal with that. He's got more than enough money to pay whoever he's got to pay off in these civil cases. So that's gonna go ahead and do its thing. But after all that does settle, the end of the day, Deshaun Watson needs to get some help, man.
Yeah.
He needs to figure out what's going on and figure out what he's doing to these people and why he's putting himself in this situation. And the fact of the matter that I think you probably did inappropriately touch some of these women or make inappropriate advances in some of these women. Now, I'm also being devil's advocate. I think some of these women, maybe some of their causes might be both. They see the payday and they're just kind of going after it.
Like you said, there's always two, 3 sides to each story.
Yeah. So I think there's a few of those that's kind of jumping on the bandwagon, seeing some dollar signs and want to get in there. But the bottom line is, I think Deshaun Watson really does have a problem, with everything that's coming up, and he really needs to address it and get that under control if he wants to continue to play football and have a promising career in that realm. Again, I always want to know, he didn't rape anybody. So he didn't violate any woman like that. He didn't force himself on no one. He didn't rape no one. But he is accused of groping women and making sexual advances at them that were inappropriate in that situation. So with that being said, he's got to kind of figure out that fine line, man, where, you either need to approach a woman right, and it definitely can't be your massage therapist. You can't do that when you got you butt naked. You can't be making sexual advances in a woman while you butt naked on the table.
Come on, tell it to her like a TI is, man. Tell it to her like a TI is. Oh,
yeah, that don't work, brother, man. I mean, that don't work, and I don't know where he got the idea whether that was okay to do something like that. Obviously, he did it, and somebody did take his advances because mostly it happens and someone does. But in this situation, man, he's really got to control.
Have a great night, gentlemen.
Oh, shouts out to you, Collecting with Cool. Appreciate you, man, for jumping in and supporting the show and the efforts. This could be the call for help, right?
Yes.
Okay. It probably wasn't intended, probably wasn't planned, but this could be that opportunity for Deshaun to actually get some help. Yeah. Okay. You're right. Come on, you don't need 66. That's one person for a day for 2.5 months. Really? Your neck doesn't hurt that bad. It don't. It don't, right? You've only played in the league for X number of years. Brady's played in the year for 85 years, and he don't need that many. The old school folks, the Rodgers of the world, all those folks don't need this much rubber. This could be that call for help, and you're right. Hopefully, he gets more of that psychological assistance that he needs. Hopefully that comes along with, again, if any of these allegations are true, then the criminal, the civil side, all of that gets dealt with as well. But the psychological piece, right? Again, brother, why do you need all of this? Is something missing from your home life, from your family life, from your relationships?
Need a hug. Brother need a hug. Jesus is like, boy, that boy.
Why can't the trainer for the Houston Texans, who is professionally trained in all the things, right? I mean, can give you some treatment, can give you whatever you need. All that. How come that dude couldn't just take care of you while after you work out, and then you go back out there and work out? How come you got to have this table? Okay, here I'm gonna stop.
You asking all the questions. If I was an investigative officer, I would be answering. So right. I don't know. I think we me and you both covered this since day one.
Yeah, we beat this one to death, man. We beat this one.
Yeah, we beat this one to death. But it's bad to say.
Listen, we beat it to death, but every week the number goes up. Yeah. So we got to talk about it. We got to keep it going.
When I tell you the saga continues, right? This is the saga that continues with this dude. What's going on? But I believe, man. I truly believe in for Deshaun Watson. He has something that's going on with him, man. That he feels that he needs to have these people, giving him massages all the different times. Yeah. And the fact of the matter, like I said, you again, poor choice. You can't be making advances and be groping women when you're sitting on the table butt naked. People gonna take offense to that. That's
all there is to it, right?
So when that situation happens and that happens, man, again, you got to be able to deal with these consequences. And I'm pretty sure he didn't know it was going to be this severe, what he was doing. But, brother, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got to understand those advances are warranted and they're not noted. Again, though, I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. The Houston Texans knew something about this and should be just as held as accountable as he is. Because just like we were talking about San Diego State, maybe their front team didn't do anything about it, and they're going to be, and those guys are going to be fired. How come the Texans get off the thing when they knew this guy was doing this stuff, and they get to just go scot-free and do what they need to do? And Deshaun Watson is the one holding the bag.
There it is.
It's the same thing. It's the same situation. Somebody knew about it. They knew about the situation, but they did nothing to stop it. So Texans, to me, are always going to be just as guilty as Deshaun Watson is in the situation.
Man, when the chips fall on some of these stories, I hope folks do their little Google and YouTube search and say, Team No Sleep, we hit them because we talked about it. And folks, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the call to action right now. We got one more story, but check it. Man, it's good when I push the right buttons now. It's almost like I do this once in a while. So listen, every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, me and that guy right there, Montel Allen, we get in. You see, haven't talked about any scores yet. Haven't talked about the NBA Finals and how bad them Celtics are doing. I still think it's going to be 6 games. I think it's going to be 6. So we'll see. But tune in, tell someone to come check it out with us. And if we're doing something right, let us know. If we're not doing something right, still let us know. Right? We trying to just do better. We're trying to do better and make sure that the less represented stories get that representation. Yep. That's probably a great segue. That's actually a really good segue to this story right here. Pride Month, the month of June. A lot of professional organizations from the corporate side, from the entertainment side, from sports side are representing and acknowledging that folks' orientation and folks' lifestyle and folks' just being who they are. Mm-hmm. This man right here, Brian Ruby, openly gay professional baseball player. I don't know if folks have seen or heard about the Tampa Bay Rays pitcher who came out and said, listen, I'm not wearing, I'm paraphrasing, right? He pretty much said, I'm not wearing any rainbows on my jersey because I am a Christian. I don't believe it. I believe that being gay is a lifestyle, is something that you choose. I'm paraphrasing the pitcher from the Tampa Bay Rays. A lot of other players within the league have come out and called that particular pitcher crazy, just dumb, stupid, all kind of negative connotations as well. But you know what? This guy right here, shouts out to him right here, to Brian Ruby for saying, listen, now we can have these conversations, right? He's saying it's unfortunate that we still have this division amongst society. I am who I am. And he says, I'm pretty good at baseball too. So let me come out here and play. It would be nice if you recognize me for being me. Go ahead and give me this month. Give me the month of June. Yeah. Just like we have the month of February. Only get 28 days, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But the fact that now we're having this conversation, and again, means kudos to this man for coming out and being who he is, and again playing his game, doing his job. But I also think that the Tampa Bay Rays pitcher who came out with his statements is wrong. Yeah, I think he's using in my mind, he's using religion in the wrong way to kind of have his point across. I don't know. I'm more tolerant. I'm definitely more tolerant, and I think that this man deserves as much respect as possible as well for being. Look, on the football side, what was it? Michael Sams, was that his name?
Yeah, Sams was the guy that drafted, and the Raiders have the first openly gay guy that's playing.
Okay, yeah, okay, Michael Sams, and I think there's some other sports as well, but this is front page news because this guy plays for a minor league team that feeds into the San Francisco Giants. So right now, so now we're talking about it, right? Because oh my goodness, the San Francisco Giants, big team, huge team, a lot of publicity, a lot of all of that. So tell me what you think about this, man, because you brought this up kind of at the 11th hour to make sure we talked about it.
I think this gentleman is incredibly brave, to be honest with you. You know, to come out and talk about his sexuality and what he, and then talk about the wrong, what the guy, the Tampa Bay pitcher said about, the whole situation where it does fuel, it feels not to me, it just feels ignorance,
That's the word that I was looking for. Yeah. Thank you, man.
He's kind of hiding behind the religious background, the religious thing to kind of fuel that ignorance. And at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter what you believe or not. You just need to respect the other person's,
have that respect.
the other person's privacy and their sexuality. That's it. That's them over there. That's what they do. That's me over here. I do what I do. That you're James over there. You do what you do. But at the end of the day, we need all the respect. What's going on. Now he's a fellow baseball player, fellow professional baseball. You need to respect what he does anyway. You as a pitcher, you ain't going home with him. What are you worried about?
Come on, right there it is, right?
You want to take it about on a day unit. What are you worried about? That's his thing. And wearing that is just wearing the rainbow is just supporting your teammate or supporting another fellow professional baseball player in solidarity for what their beliefs are. Just like we would ask, you to celebrate Black History Month or Juneteenth is coming up that we want to celebrate, or whatever that may be. We just want to be able to, be all in the same boat and support each other, whether you agree with their lifestyle or not. It's funny. He can do all that criticism about their lifestyle, but when it comes to politics, you know what I mean? Oh, man, even though you're a Republican, I'm a Democrat, we still got to be on the same team. I'm not going to be that crucial about my teammate because he's a Democrat or Republican. You know what I mean? So your battles are kind of whack, man. Just kind of stay in your own lane and respect the next man. And who cares at this point, at this day? Who really does care, Last time I checked, we're all human beings. Am I correct? And so I can care less about your sexual preference.
Right. It sounds and seems so simple, but I know it's not. I'm not being naive, right? Again, this does liken to the political conversation. Like we can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, let me be respectful of you if you have those particular opinions and those particular stances. If you chose to be of a different orientation, okay. If you on my team, as long as you able to play third base and you able to make that throw to first, I'm cool with you, right? If you can be batting fourth, you can be batting cleanup, and you can bring everyone home, then we could probably get this W instead of this L.
I'm cool.
That's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, I'm cool. I don't care. Yeah, I'm not worried about anything else you do.
Inside, look at Kevin Cox here. It doesn't make you fall into that lifestyle by wearing a just by showing respect for someone else.
Exactly. That's 100% right. Just because you're just supporting it doesn't mean you're going to fall in lifestyle. Anybody's any less or any greater in that situation. Man, that's your team. The part I have about it is that he's a fellow professional athlete like you are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the pitcher that was in Tampa Bay has been through the minor league and he knows how hard it is in the struggles. And now for a person to say, you know what? Hey, my sexual preference is this. I'm an openly gay player. Why not? Why wouldn't you wear your rainbow? Why wouldn't you wear the rainbow to show Pride Month and show that we respect, not necessarily agree, but we respect these people's decisions? That's all it is. I don't have to agree with anything, but I respect you.
There it is.
I don't care about anything else. I respect. Okay, I respect you. That's fine. That's your belief. That's what you do behind closed doors, or that's what you do with your lifestyle. That's you. At the end of the day, I still respect you. You're James. I respect you. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, and I'm your friend. I can care less at the end of the day what you do. The other side, your other lifestyle, whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, man, this is just a lack of respect for somebody else's, orientation, and that's sad that he doesn't see the writing on the wall, and to make a public statement like that. Like, why would you go public and say anything like that? If you disagree, just disagree.
Yeah.
And just kind of keep it to yourself and just say, all right.
Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving.
Yeah. He could have. The thing is, it's funny about that picture, and I'm not agreeing with him, but if he felt so strongly about it that he didn't want to wear the rainbow, you could have kept it to yourself and just went to the front office and said, you know what, I really don't want to participate in this, and kept it really, really on the low, and then have to voice your ignorance.
Yeah.
About the situation.
Yeah.
And masking it behind religion. You know, religion didn't tell you any of that not to believe in that. You don't believe in it.
Exactly. That was the my argument from that perspective, right?
Yeah.
Don't put up the Bible as your defense for
Yeah.
your
Just say you
lack
don't agree
of
with it. I don't. Be a man. Be a man and stand up and say, you know what? I just don't agree with that lifestyle.
done.
You know, that's it. I don't agree with that lifestyle. You know, he could have said it in a more respectful manner instead of spewing behind the Christianity. He could have been like, you know what? I don't agree with that lifestyle. I really don't support that lifestyle. But you know what? You know, for all that everybody wants to participate, I'm all for it. I just choose to remove myself from it. What's wrong with saying it like that? What's wrong with your PR person telling you to say it like that? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You just I just don't choose to participate in it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We get it. You know, that's your thing. But he wanted to pray, you know, the Bible doesn't do this and it doesn't say that, so I don't agree with it. Nah, man, it's you.
It's you.
It's you that don't agree with it.
Right.
And that's fine.
Just take the like Tony was saying, take the deduction from your check because your employer is supporting this particular cause and you choose not to. And if you were regular folks like us, you could lose your job. But just go take that little $10,000 out of your salary because
take that L real quick and move and be straight. Take that L. And to be all honest, you know what? If I was Tampa Ray, the Tampa Ray, I forgot what the Devil Rays.
The Rays, no, the Rays, Tampa Bay Rays,
the Rays. If I was them, I would definitely go to his agent and him and I'd be like, I want him to have a public apology. I'm sorry, I don't care. You're in my professional world. I pay you. Mm-hmm. I need you to make a public apology and explain yourself why you said what you said and apologize for saying it. Because at the bottom line, we support it. We support him. We respect his decision. We respect him as a human being, and we're gonna keep it moving on. I know a lot of people don't agree with their lifestyle. I mean, I have a hard time understanding it sometimes as well, but that does not mean I don't respect it.
Yeah,
you know, that's your choice. I respect your choice. I respect you as a person, and at the end of the day, that's all that needs to be said. There doesn't have to be anything else beyond that.
This could be another, very similar to the Deshaun Watson thing. This could be a teachable moment by what I've got highlighted here, right? Because, the Ruby's got this advocacy organization, proud to be in baseball, right? That's the name of his organization, and he's having these conversations. It's unfortunate that he has to tend to and pay attention and respond to these types of situations. But again, it's bringing more awareness. So, I mean, it could be good for his advocacy organization to have this conversation because now it's completely come to light. But I don't know. You're right. The pitcher.
But we got to be. But James, you got to be honest with this situation. Yeah, we always know the first one through the door is the first one that's going to get shot, right? We already know that. Yeah. First one through the door is going to get shot. He's the first one that's really out there.
Good point.
Advocacy and everything. And he's got, and I know he understands that. And I hope people understand it. People are against him, and doors are going to close on him, and opportunities are going to close him just because of his sexual orientation. Yeah. Let's not be blind in that situation. Let's not act like there's not anti-gay phobia or I don't know phobia. There's a gay phobia or whatever. I don't know how to say it. That's out there.
Yeah.
And it's amongst the professional athletes and amongst professional owners. Let's just be honest with it.
Yeah.
Just because they're gonna wear a rainbow on their jersey, don't mean they want to see a gay person in their organization. That's just being very transparent in how things are. But I applaud that young man for coming out and speaking his truth, and I respect him for that. That's he's putting his career in jeopardy. Listen, I'm just be honest. He puts his career in jeopardy.
This is what we were at. This is what I was looking for. This is what was being asked of him right there. That
honestly, man, are you serious?
That's what was being asked of him. Yeah.
I thought the whole jersey was going to be rainbow or something crazy.
That's the one on the Tampa Bay Rays. That's the one on the Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. So
that's sad. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I applaud that man for coming out, man, and putting himself in the public and being who he is. And I really have a lot of respect for someone that can do that because that takes a lot of courage.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people underestimate that. That takes a lot of damn courage. But I would be ashamed. I wouldn't be true to myself. I wouldn't say stuff's gonna happen, man. Everybody's not for what he's fighting for. There's not people out there to fight for it for. So I hope he continues to fight. I hope he just I hope he wins at the end of the day. But him being in the minor leagues, it may be a tougher road getting to the major league just because not because of his play, but just because of his sexual orientation. It could be a tougher road.
It could be. I mean, everyone's got their hurdles, and we'll see. But again, if he can get out there, if he can throw, hit, run, if he can do all the things out there when he's standing between the lines.
I ain't got no problem with him doing like if he can help me win.
If he can put that W,
I can care less.
Listen, if he can get us a pennant, a championship, or whatever the case, us being whatever team he ends up going to, that's kind of all that matters at the end of the day, man.
That's all that matters at the end of the day, brother. I'll be all for it.
Oh my goodness, folks, we did it tonight, didn't we? We hit them hard with some good ones. So this is what we got to do, though, right? We got to keep having these conversations. We got to keep bringing this to light. We got to keep having this dialogue with the community. So appreciate everyone who chimed in, who joined. I believe we got some new folks. I'm seeing the Twitter audience is nice as well. One of these weeks we're gonna get y'all over here on YouTube. I know it's comfortable over there on Twitter because you probably already logged in. You get the little notification, but you can't engage with the conversation and tell us if we crazy unless you come over here to these sides of the street. So hold on before we set. Very similar to the Kaepernick situation. See, Kevin, don't start nothing. We don't have much more time. We don't have a whole lot.
It's true, man. I mean, I was thinking that same thing in my head, Kevin. Like, it is very true to the Kaepernick situation. Some people are gonna be in support, some gonna be not. But and he's going to be scrutinized on both sides. He'll be praised on one side, the other side he'll be scrutinized. I'm thinking out loud that he's in an uphill battle by just saying about his sexual preference. Just like kind of combinated with his beliefs. Yeah, I just believe there's as much as we want to believe that we're utopia and everybody's equal and we all get along. The reality is that we don't. There's a lot of prejudice and a lot of racism and a lot of opinionated people that have their strong enough opinions that they're even willing to hurt you and kill someone in their opinion. So we can't be ignorant to the fact, and that's why we're talking about this stuff on these social platforms. Those things exist as well. As long as we want good things to happen, unfortunately, there's a lot of bad things that happen. And I think that young man, like I said, I applaud him, man, for his courage to put it out there because like I said, man, that's huge. Yeah. That's a huge thing to say out there in public. Because what kind of scrutiny and what other people are going to say and what kind of doors can be closed on you. Not on your talent, not on your merit, not even on your character, just because of his sexual preference. And that's sad.
There it is. There it is, folks. Leave a comment. Share this with someone because I think we touched some good nerves and some bad nerves, right? Or at least hopefully made you think tonight because, listen, we went from felony charges to, I'm going to call it abuse, to false imprisonment, I'm going to call it that, to overstepping bounds. And now we got hate and tolerance. A lot of things going on in the world, and again, this is social impact of sport. We didn't talk nothing about anybody's score tonight. I do want to give a shout out before I close to the UCLA women's softball team. Even though they got eliminated by them Oklahoma Sooners, goodness gracious, them Oklahoma Sooners are there's a machine out there. They killing everybody. They putting up basketball scores in softball, right? They out there hitting grand slams left and right. But like we talked about, I mean, that's exciting right now. What's happening with the women's college softball championship? But Montel, take us home, brother. We did it again. Talk to the folks.
Oh man, just like thank for everybody for tuning in. Man, we just appreciate you guys listening to these two old men talking and speaking our truth. And, like I said, always, man, say your prayers, reach out to somebody. Mental health is something that is very, very prevalent in our community. Shout out to Montel Allen from UCLA. We'll talk about this next week, but he's the UCLA football player that quit because of mental health. Okay. So shout out to him. Strong kudos to that young man. Man, like I said, reach out to somebody. Just let them know that you love them and that you're thinking about them. I think that goes a long way. So we out.
Appreciate it, y'all.